As you may be aware, Mario Kart Wii is a very complex game. It has a very unique set of mechanics that often do not apply to other Mario Kart entries. However, what if I told you that it does not have to be this way? This video will help you understand all of Mario Kart Wii's very complex mechanics in a very simple manner. This guide will assume you have never played Mario Kart Wii in your life and comfortably take you to a level where you are able to play in online races. So without any further ado, let's get started. Now very quickly, just before we get started, I do need to mention something you should know. This guide only covers tips and tricks to get better at Mario Kart Wii. It does not include a guide to set up and install the game. I do have another video on my channel about this topic that I do recommend watching before this one. So to keep this video short and sweet, I'm only going to go over the 3 most essential driving techniques in Mario Kart Wii. These techniques being the drift, the wheelie, and the trick boost. Drifting is used to turn corners. It is performed by using the jump button and then pushing your analog stick in the direction you wish to turn. If you hold both the jump and turning direction long enough, eventually you will see a blue spark come out of the back of your car. This is called a mini turbo and will give you a small speed increase. Right now we will not be focused on taking the best possible lines. We will only be focused on not hitting any walls and not falling off the track. So that is the main takeaway to learn while beginning to drift. In order to best achieve this goal of not falling off, I recommend to go into time trials and choose Luigi Circuit as the track. From here, simply drive the track while trying to stay as close to in the middle of the track as possible. This means it is less likely for you to hit walls, which will be transferable to other, more difficult tracks as well. Next up, we have a mechanic that may very well confuse a lot of beginners, as this mechanic is exclusive to Mario Kart Wii, that being the wheelie mechanic. Let's start off with the easier part of how to perform a wheelie. In order to perform a wheelie, you must press the up button on your D-pad. This will cause your car to enter a wheelie and remain in that state for 3 seconds. Now for the more complex aspect of wheelieing, we need to look at when exactly is the wheelie optimally used. The easiest way I can explain this is, if drifting is done around corners, then think of wheelieing as being done on straightaway sections. These are long sections of the track where no turns take place. Here's an example of both on Luigi Circuit, where I drift around the second turn and then immediately enter a wheelie as there is a big long straightaway section following it. Make sure to learn wheelies as soon as possible, as they are an absolutely essential mechanic. They increase your speed by a whopping 15% for the entire duration of the wheelie. Lastly, we have the trick boost. A trick can be performed by pressing any one of your 4 D-pad buttons on a trickable surface. Which D-pad button you press, whether up, down, left, or right, will alter the direction your character faces for the trick. For now, you can just focus on successfully tricking, but please note that in the future, certain directions on certain ramps do actually result in a faster trick. Now very quickly, I do want to go over what a trickable surface is, as this is sometimes not made very clear to us as players. Trickable surfaces include all of these red, pink, and yellow flashing ramps. They also include all of the non-flashing ramps, such as the one on Moo Moo Meadows, as well as that certain ledges are also trickable, such as the banister of the escalators in Coconut Mall. As a general rule for beginners, you usually want to always trick wherever you see an opportunity. This is because you get a small speed boost upon landing. And that about wraps it up for the basics of the driving mechanics. If anyone has any questions regarding these, please leave them in the comment section down below. Also, keep an eye out for future videos regarding these driving techniques, as there are many more advanced mechanics you can do for each, such as spin drifting, chain wheeling, and low tricking. However, once again, those are topics for another video, and the skills you have learned through the basics here are perfectly fine for playing online. Now we move on to the final step of what we should complete before we play Mario Kart Wii online. For those of you who are well aware of the meta in Mario Kart Wii, I'm sure you are waiting for this specific moment. That's right, it's now time we unlock Funky Kong to have the best advantage for playing in online races. So now the question is, how do we unlock Funky Kong? Well, in Mario Kart Wii, there are actually 3 different ways you can unlock Funky Kong, so let's go over the options. Option 1 is to win 25 online matches. Option 2 is to play a total of 2,250 races, and option 3 is to beat 4 beginner time trial ghosts. Out of these 3 options, I definitely recommend choosing the time trials one. This is mainly for 2 reasons. Number 1, it is the only one that has any chance of keeping your sanity intact, as the other 2 options take far too long. Not only is playing time trials the shortest way to unlock Funky Kong, but it's also the best way to improve. We can utilize the time trial mode to act as a training ground to practice the mechanics we discussed earlier. What you're seeing now is sped up gameplay of me racing the beginner Saf Ghost. As you can see, I take things very basic and slowly, and do not go for any risky mechanics. I will only go for a shortcut if there is a ramp, as the main thing right now is to not hit any walls. I recommend staying in the center of the track to do this to the best of your ability, as hitting a wall or hitting off-road is very punishing, particularly in this game. Although you only need to time trial 4 tracks in order to unlock Funky Kong, I recommend actually time trialing 5. The tracks I recommend to beat are Luigi Circuit, Moo Moo Meadows, Wii Mario Circuit, DS Yoshi Falls, and DS Delfino Square. The first 4 tracks are basic tracks that offer complete fundamentals of the game, including track hazards, long straightaways to wheelie on, and wide drifts to help you not fall off or hit any walls. Once you have beaten these 4 tracks and unlocked Funky Kong, it's time to move up a step into Delfino Square. This, in my opinion, is the ultimate track to harness your skills. It has many tight turns that can easily pose a challenge, as well as many long straightaways which are perfect for practicing your wheeling. There's also a shortcut with a very tight alleyway that makes it much harder than the other shortcuts we have faced up to this point. So think of a track like this as a final boss before you are ready to enter into the online races. After you beat this track, you're finally ready to play in Mario Kart Wii online races. And with that, that's going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed and found this video useful. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more intermediate and expert guides in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.